And with that, I am outside Kroger Field talking to fans like we always do. However, bit of a curveball this time. It's only halftime. We didn't have to wait till the end of the game. We've done a third quarter rapid reaction and a lightning delay. I thought that was unique. A few weeks ago against Murray, that was a win, but we did a fourth quarter rapid reaction. Never in my life thought at halftime we'd be recapping a Governor's Cup game. We're at the 36th running of the Governor's Cup, where Kentucky is down 20-0. It feels like Kentucky is down 50-0 as Big Blue Nation files out of Kroger Field. Unbelievably bad performance by the Cats. They look like a team that doesn't even want to be here. He says Kentucky sucks. He's wearing a Kentucky shirt. He's still yelling, "We suck." Have a safe drive home. That's just where we are, Cats. That's where we are. We're standing outside in the cold. Steven has a ski mask on to stay warm. Maybe some people will yell at us, but we're just going to hang out and check the temperature of Big Blue Nation because they're a lot hotter than we are. I mean, if it were warm, would you be staying?
No. It's
So
a
cold's not a factor.
complete poop show. Offensive line. I mean, I don't know. Where do you start?
Exactly. Were you enthusiastic when you got here at least? Was there hope?
Kind of excited to see what Cutter had. I don't know. You can't really tell with behind that line.
Well, it's the last one. It can't get any worse.
Let me tell you what's going on today.
Tell me about it. Talk to me.
Let me tell you. So we didn't run 24 blasts on two like I wanted to. Stoops, he was a little contemplated on the pass plays. Staying in the pocket too long. You pump 2 times, it ain't there. Run the ball. Get out of there. Get gone. Get to the end zone. 20-0, it's unacceptable. What's going to happen second half is going to be a change. If it ain't, I'm the coach next year.
All right, the coach next year.
Put that on ABC, NBC, ESPN,
KSR.
KSR. Oh,
YouTube.
KSR is the shit, man.
It is, man. We're big
Is
fans.
that what-
How you feeling?
She wants a rapid reaction.
We're kind of just doing one right now.
Bro.
Figured it out. What's going on?
We're embarrassed. I mean, we're embarrassed. It feels like we've been watching Mark Stoops the whole game, and he's standing with his hands in his pockets in the hoodie, not even part of the huddles. And I'm like, okay, it's one of two things. It's either a great reset or it's over, I think, unfortunately.
The effort out there looks pretty disappointing.
Horrible. I mean, you're watching like their running backs gashing us, and it's like that doesn't happen. I've been watching Dion the whole game. Like, what is his mindset? Like, what's he doing? And to give him credit, he's like talking to the coaches and stuff, but it's like watching a practice. You know what I mean? It's like watching a live action practice where they're just kind of like, we're going to hit each other, but we're not trying to hurt each other. And I'm like, dude, this is Louisville. Like, if you can't get up for this, then they're all gone, I guess. Like, they're all checked out. They're all at their new school. It is what it is.
We're playing like garbage. We have season tickets. Are we even going to renew our season tickets next year? It's just really frustrating.
But, you know,
yeah.
we are.
He likes to tailgate.
I'm
Listen, I
upset,
can't
Will
with my
Stoops
dad
be the coach
through-
next year?
I hope not.
Tradition here.
No, I was going to say, me and my dad came, like, I'm going to renew my tickets because me and my dad were here for, like, the 2-10 teams. It was begging for season tickets, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I wish I could be there for every game. So we'll be here, but...
The price.
Then
Thanks, Drew.
We'll see you back here next year with your season tickets that are on discount. Hello again, Drew Franklin here. I was just outside at halftime. Now the game is over and Kentucky just lost to Louisville. Final score 41-14. Indeed. We heard from some fans leaving at halftime. We got their opinions. Now the game's over. I want to talk a little big picture with our football experts. You know Roush, you know Luckett. We'll just start with an overall thesis on this game. We don't have to get into what exactly went wrong because it all went wrong. But Nick, from that very beginning, we knew the Cats were in trouble. I mean, it was clear that Louisville came to win that game and Kentucky came to lose it.
I mean, Jamarion Wilcox just handed the ball to the other team. We should have known what was to come. And it's so disappointing because we knew the best case scenario, what it would be. It would be Cutter Boley and Wilcox, Willie Rodriguez, maybe Hartley Gilmore. You were going to build around these freshmen, have a big game, beat Louisville. It wasn't going to erase all of your problems for the year, but it was a path to optimism, a way forward, a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what was at the end of that tunnel? A big pile of crap, because not only did Kentucky get blitzed, those guys were the reason why you lost. I mean, Cutter threw 2 picks. He looked like a true freshman the whole time. One of those picks was in the end zone. Wilcox has the fumble, and then right when Kentucky gets something going, you're like, man, if they go and score here, it's a one-score game. Louisville might get tight. What does Wilcox do? He fumbles it again. Louisville gets a scoop and score. It's 27-7. Game over. That was bad. It was embarrassing. And this is a new low for the Mark Stoops era.
Yeah, look, there's really no point in talking about this game too much because season's over. That was it. 0-5 at home against Power 5 teams. That was a lot of fun. But we thought, as Nick was saying, we thought today it would be a youth movement. Thought it might give a little excitement if it could go well for the fan base. But at this point, news is about to start flowing. Maybe any moment now of departures and movements and staff changes. Who knows what that will look like?
We're going to halftime Instagram post.
I mean, what is this chaos ahead? I know none of us know, but I mean, is it just about to be, is everything on the table right now? Because it seems like it.
I think anything can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, but
set your alerts at home. Get your KSR
it's an
alerts.
embarrassing ending to an embarrassing season. How do you fix it? I mean, it's a question we've been asking, Nick, since week 6. How do you fix this? I don't know. I don't know the answers to it. How do you fix it if you're Mark Stoops? Eli Cox talked about on Tuesday about how he thought it was a multifaceted issue, not a quick fix. How do you eat another season like that if that's the case? What are the answers? We don't know. What's the tone you strike in the offseason? I wonder, does a result like that make you think, well, somebody's got to fall on the sword for that? You can't end the season that way. The other games you lost maybe are somewhat explainable, especially to the top-ranked teams. But, you come out and play like that, and the draft chart in the first half, it was just what was it? Interception, punt, fumble, punt.
Kentucky had 5 first downs and 5 punts. They had as many punts as first downs in that first half.
Yeah. The whole thing this thing was built on really this year was the run defense.
Yeah.
Gave up 300 rushing yards today. It's just
A couple, both freshmen?
Yes, both true freshmen.
Goodness, get to see more of them.
350 rushing yards for the Cards.
Oh, I'm going to throw up.
So where do you just go from there? That's the real question. Where do you even start? I think that is to me, Nick, like we talked about, quarterback.
What? Yeah.
You got to go get a quarterback. You have no, I think Cutter long term, you can see the potential with him, but I think today was proof that he's still not there yet. He still needs time to develop. So to me, you got to go get a quarterback. All this stuff costs money. And so do you now have to get a quarterback? Does that take away money from another position? These are all things they have to figure out, and it's real difficult.
And as you all have talked for weeks about this roster, you need more than a quarterback, Nick. I think you need one of everything, maybe 2 of a couple things.
Yeah.
Stoops has got to go. If it is Stoops, we don't even know what's going to happen next. But whoever is in charge of this program has a lot of holes to fill because this season wasn't it, and a lot of the folks are leaving.
Yeah, it's not just just a couple tackles and, a receiver, that'll fix things. Because, and the weird part, too, of this game is, Jamarion Wilcox has the best plays of the day. And that dude has been non-existent for most of the year. He had a $123, 2 touchdowns, an 83-yard touchdown. It's it's hard to even wrap your head around and put words into it because we actually had expectations this season. Next season, it's going to be bad and it's going to be worse. I didn't think it could get worse than this. So you've reached the bottom, you've reached the floor. It's bad, it's ugly. I don't know where we go from here.
What's up? I'm with the good guys.
Hey, I'm all about Louisville, 502 South End.
I understand.
Louisville, Kentucky. But I love Kentucky too. The only time I don't root against them is when we play them.
Hey, congrats. You got one. You got one. You
Hey,
enjoy it.
I've been waiting on this for a long time.
All right.
We just need to break the streak. Yeah, but y'all got a great basketball team because Pope plays for the name on his chest.
There we go.
Hey, look, when you know what it takes to win, no joke. Y'all mean like these kids right here.
Hey, just make sure to lose.
What you gonna tell me, nephew?
Hey, you guys are gonna lose next year.
Hey, but you know one thing.
We'll let them settle that. Thanks for trying to cheer us up with the Pope shout out. We're not quite ready for that right now. Were you mid-thought there when he popped in?
I don't know. I don't know where I am. I don't know where this program's going, but it's not getting better anytime soon. We thought we could find some optimism today. Instead, it was one of the worst losses I've ever seen. And now I'm going to go hear what Mark Stoops has to say about it.
Go talk to Mark Stoops. She'll ask lots of good questions. Lockett, for the last 5 years, even last year when Kentucky's season was disappointing, you get to this game, might have been an underdog every other year, a couple points here and there, but once it started, you looked at the trenches and you're like, these teams aren't even close to the same.
Yeah.
How did it flip so quickly just from a year ago where it didn't look like Louisville could hang with it was close, but I mean, Kentucky still, it was an SEC team. We saw the SEC, ACC difference. Today it was like Louisville was the big bad team.
One of my biggest questions, Drew, for the season is like, what happened to the defensive line? How did this group go from dominating games against Ole Miss and Georgia to what we saw what Auburn did right in here, what Louisville did in here? Like, what happened there where they went from being one of the best units in the country to not being able to fit the run at all? Was it just like they didn't have De'Aaron Jackson and they just couldn't do it without him? Like, what happened there? Because that's what the defense was built on. And so that is concerning for me. And then offensively, it's just a whole litany of issues. I think it's every position you got to go down: quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, offensive tackle, offensive guard, center, and you've got to really figure out where you are and who you want and what path you want to go to. And there's not really anything to hang their head on.
You know
on either side of the ball.
You know what doesn't grow on trees? Offensive linemen that are ready to play in the SEC, and Kentucky might need 5 of them, including everything else on their list. That's just why whatever happens with Stoops, and we don't have those answers, everything will start moving quickly. If he is back, he has such a long to-do list, and he could even do it perfectly, but the fans are still going to say, what am I getting excited about next year?
Yeah, it's going to be a long offseason. It's going to be filled with pessimism in the fan base. KS Sports, not going to be a lot of happy people on there. So you're going to have to, weather a big storm, I think, this offseason. Because there's almost no winning the PR battle, but you can't just go. I don't think you can just go and hide from it all. You do have to address it. So how do they address it? And I think the messaging is really important. And then seeing what they're doing personnel-wise to try to fix some of their problems. I think part of it, they need to have some type of youth movement, which was a lot today. I think this is some of these young guys we got are guys you could look forward to. But then, Cutter doesn't have a good game. Wilcox puts the ball on one just gets it ripped away, puts the ball on the turf in big spots. Both of those fumbles. So it's like, geez, where do you go?
You've said this before. Our current upperclassmen were the freshmen we were excited about 3 years ago, and we're in this predicament.
Yeah. And then I think to your point on the Louisville game, Kentucky was 6-5 the last 2 years. They were able to win this game to kind of end the season with a better taste in their mouth. But the seasons were going sideways for them before that. And this year, I think it snowballed on them. And so, all right, you've gotten buried. How do you get up off the mat, and how do you fix it? And that's really what this is all going to be about. And you have to fix it with a brutal schedule, maybe even a tougher schedule than you had this year.
It's no secret that things are pretty uncomfortable around Mark Stoops this game, probably through gasoline on his hot seat. Fans were not happy in the parking lots, making that very clear. Part of that's just caught up in the emotions and be at this game. But with the seasons he's had, there is a very disgruntled fan base that I think will be hard to put back together with him. But, he's the coach.
Yeah, how do you get there coming?
Yeah.
Stoops not getting fired.
He's not getting fired. That's impossible. But money does not exist.
But was this the final body blow to his tenure? Is there any coming back from it?
And if you're him and you just look up and, we're sharing photos, you all watch it at home, just bleachers everywhere and you're down 30 points in a rivalry game, he has to feel that.
Right.
He absolutely has to feel that.
Return 2025, how do you come back from that? How do you come back from this season? Is there any way to? Especially when you kind of look at it a little closer and you see, we've got a lot of holes that they probably need a gap year to figure out problems. And then they have, what does that even look like after you take some more losses next year? It's just they're in a very, very tough spot, and it's kind of hard to see how they can climb out of it.
Yeah, we can sit here and try to predict the future. It's about to be absolute chaos as Kentucky players leaving, likely staff changes, maybe all the way to the top. Who knows? None of us know. Stick with KSR. Luck will have all the updates. Roush, KS Board. It's about to be madness around here. But before we go, I do want to give 2 shout-outs. We're very disappointed in Kentucky, this team, these players. Wasn't their year. Steven and I were on the field, though. Eli Cox and J.J. Weaver, 2 guys who have given a lot to this program, have beaten Louisville a lot. J.J. Weaver was last year's MVP. Those guys were, what's up, Jeff Picoro? Do you want to share some thoughts?
Do I look like I was there? On what? On Michigan beating Ohio State? Unbelievable.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's focus on that rivalry game.
South Carolina beat unbelievable.
Not as much fun in this current rivalry game here.
How many yards did they run for?
300 something, 400, 1000, I don't know. Hey, thanks for a fun season. Enjoy what's next for you.
There's always basketball.
There is. With that, I guess we'll keep getting interrupted here. Did I finish my J.J. Weaver, Eli Cox point? They were 15 seconds. Sorry, they were both on the field. I mean, you could see the emotion coming through. I feel really bad for the guys who've had a great career and it's kind of ending like this. In the rapid reaction, Steven tells me the battery's dying would be perfect for an ending for this whole season. So I'll sign off quickly. Drew Franklin, Adam Luckett, Nick Roush, Jeff Pecoro, a bunch of sad Kentucky fans. Watch the news.